Okay, so I've hooked up the thing to give me my live data. There we go. As you can see, it's reading -40. It was flipping around. And then the sensor is that guy. That guy. Right there is the sensor. And I took it off a second ago. And it wasn't reading anything really. Or it's not really connected nicely. It's like if I pull it off, you can see that the connector is actually kind of broken. Hard to see. This guy, I unplugged it, still reading -40. So let's see if I plug it back in, if it does anything. Okay, it's in. Didn't change. Okay, let's spray some cleaner on. Okay, so it's been sprayed. Let's reconnect it, see if it does anything. Okay, it's in there. Still -40. So I think that circuit is bad. I'll have to take some a multimeter and check it for resistance. We have two possibilities, right? When the car was on, or when it was giving a reading, unplugged or plugged in, it gave -400F. So what that tells me is that when it's unplugged, the circuit's open, that means 0 volts is going to the signal, or we have an infinite resistance. So the circuit, I assume, between the power going into the sensor, between that, let's say starting here, between it and the signal here is open. And I had looked up how thermistors work. So they have for a 3-wire, which is what this system is, you have a variable, which is what the sensor is, a standard resistance, and then your ground. I thought it was more like a wiper, but that's not the case, so we can ignore all this. We were getting 1.1 kilo ohms of resistance when we measured between A and B. So what I'm going to assume is that this is signal to ground. Those two go together. So we aren't getting the 5 volts. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check to see if when I put power to the car, if power is going through that cable. And more specifically, I guess we'll figure out which one is ground, which one is signal, which one is 5 volts. So first thing, I'm gonna make sure that our continuity is correct. So I have it on cont right now. When I touch the two probes together, it'll beep. Where is it? There we go. And then more importantly, when I touch, a screw there and then exposed metal somewhere, let's see if we can find some, or if I touch the engine here, it beeps as well. So that's good. That's the first problem we gotta figure out. The next one, I have the connector disconnected already. It's down here. And I'm going to orient it so that way the point is down. I'm going to stick it into the right one and then touch the engine. So it looks like the right one is ground. I touch this one. I shouldn't get anything. Nothing. And then the bottom one. Nothing. And then just to confirm, we'll touch this one again, the far right. And we got, okay, so the far right one is ground. That's great. So now that we know that B is ground, we gotta figure out what A and C are. So I'll turn on the car. I will touch one terminal to ground of the multimeter, and the other one to A and see what readings I get. Now we gotta find the volt drop. So I'll set my multimeter to 20 volts. And then I find this guy. Okay, I have it on the right one, and now let's check the minus 1.69. Minus 1.47. So that doesn't seem like that's signal or the supply. So now let's check the bottom one. 8.85. Okay, good. What that means is, so B on the right is ground, C on the bottom is 5 volts or 9 volts, and then up here, A is signal. So in theory, I can either supply a voltage to that, and then if we put the live data on, I can get a reading, or if I jump the 9 volts to the signal using like a little potentiometer, that might also do the trick. What I'm seeing online is that the high resistance, it goes up to 100 kilo ohms. So I need to have 3 kilo ohms in that range to be safe. So I'll check what, I have some wipers here, some potentiometers. We'll see what resistance they are. So this little guy here is 10 kilo ohms. And when I spin it, you can see it adjusts. So I think this is a good way to test to see if the ECU and the wiring is right. 10 kilo ohms would get me to at least 0 degrees. So that's good. And then less is better. So I have some connectors, some wires, so I'll try and wire this thing up. Okay, so the top left and the bottom one are my goals here. And no change. Okay, maybe signal to ground. Still, oh, we got something. Okay, so the wiring's good then. So that's fully no full potential, or -20. And then if I spin it the other way, I get to 9, 14. So that's great. That means the wiring is good. So that means this most likely the sensor that's bad. That's a relief because I didn't feel like going through all the wiring. So I'm trying to do this more how it says. So disconnect the coolant temperature sensor, turn the ignition on. Is there 5 volt between terminal A? So that'd be measured between terminal A and ground. So if I stick my red probe into the right hand, the left hand actually. Good, that's in there. Very hard to see. And then ground, which is the chassis, I'm getting 4.2, 4.9. It was higher a second ago. It was like 4.5. Yeah, I mean, I would call that 5. It's close enough. If it ends up that 4.5 volts wasn't enough, then eventually I'll find terminal 2E connected to A. So, but no, is there continuity between terminal B and terminal 3F? I guess I gotta really find this terminal now. Okay, so I struggled and put myself upside down and everything to try and do step number 4, no. Check for open circuit, wireless hardened PCM, 2E to engine coolant sensor A. It does get 5 volts, so that's good. And then I did come down here, and it's impossible to see probably, but I have, oh, let's see if we can get up there. I have a little jumper going to 2E, and then I have a jumper going to ground, and I am getting 5 volts, so that's exactly what we expect to see. So 4 is a yes, so we go to the next step. Continuity between terminal B and 3F. So 3F, took me a while to find it because I thought it was 2F. 3F is sensor ground. Now I have it connected to power ground because that was easier for me to get to. And when we come over here, we take our little jumper, we stick it into terminal B. We get the beep on that guy, so that's good. On to the next step. Is resistance between engine temperature, terminal A, and specified. I think I've decided this is the problem. It's definitely the sensor. So because I'm getting the correct voltage everywhere else.